Welcome back, Dodecadorks. We're the 12-sided guys. We have Scott as Ornan the Unsqueezable.
At your service.
Sabrina as Sylvie the Squishy.
Oh, hello.
Well, she's squishy where it's fun.
Also, I'm tough as boy.
Jordan as Magram the Unconscious.
Oh, I love you guys.
Matt as Guy the Shieldless.
That's a dumb one.
Well, you don't have a shield. You complained about it.
You're naked.
That is my name. Don't wear it out.
And me, Paul, as Annalise, the almost hypocrite. Now, I know you've all been saying that Annalise was very against Sylvie using Fireball, and then she went and used Wall of Fire. But there's one big difference between the two situations. Can you guess what it is?
She's a hypocrite.
That's right. Fireball is a level 3 spell, and Wall of Fire is a level 4 spell.
That makes sense.
If you don't like this reasoning, then tell us all about it over on the Discord. We love to hear your opinions, even if they're wrong. Anyway, if it took your girlfriend's encouragement to help a child get up the courage to yell fire, then this podcast is for you. It's Chorus of the Forsaken, episode
75.
What?
I don't know that one.
But Rydia, if we don't get over Mount Hobbs, then the monks of Fable are going to be in danger.
Yes, Golbez and the Red Wings are coming to get the air crystal. No, wait, which one was it? Was it the air crystal from?
They had
Fable?
the air crystal, yeah.
Yeah, they had the air crystal.
Wait.
Oh
Meteo? I love that game. Oh, with all of my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome back to Chorus of the Forsaken in the formerly Pithrian Barony?
Forn'pithria.
Forn'pithria, yes.
I had some Forn'pithria, and it ended up being a yeast infection. So,
Yeah, they got medicine for that.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, last time we were together, our heroes were trying to decide where to go. Annalise shared her vision of Peter, which apparently indicated he was actually in Kladvina, meeting with elves who had taken over the city. Our heroes decided that they needed to head north, not only because Grimwater Grove was a lot closer than the nearest town to the south or to the east, but also because Peter would be potentially the closest next member of the Dream Team that they could maybe get some more information from about what is going on with these visions that they have all been sharing. As they moved through the now snow-covered swamp, they took their rest for the night, taking a long rest in a turtle shell. A couple things happened. First off, Guy summoned back Pranciful, and Pranciful shared with Guy all of his exploits since Guy left.
And we need to get him to a tailor stat, because apparently his hat and bow tie have seen better days.
Yes, they have. Basically, Neldor and Shireen left Kladvina and went back to Martin's Rest after it seems that the attack had happened upon the city. Then also a boat was heard moving back and forth in the night. Pranciful turned into a magpie and went and investigated in it. Sure enough, there was this sort of long ship, elvish long ship, full of elven warriors who were seemed like patrolling this area of the swamp.
And they all had helmets with horns on them.
No, they did not.
And they were drinking mead from horn drink cups, and they were saying things like "Die, Nicothere," and
I don't talk like that.
"Yai be not be having your dinner tonight."
is that Leif Erikson over there?
Oh, is that Antonio Banderas over there pretending to be a Persian?
Yeah, it was 13th warrior.
All right. Okay. Where was I? Oh, during Sylvie's watch, boats were around somewhere, and there were some people on sounded like horses, maybe potentially patrolling around the area as well in the night. Also, Sylvie recognized
Could have
that her
been some knights
flute.
with coconut shells. but
It could
there
have,
have
but
also
there was
been
also
horses.
some creaking leather and stuff. So, but
Yeah,
also,
but then
Sylvie,
again, they're non-migratory, so
Sylvie also learned that her flute, not only did it give her a +2 to her performance check, but it also allowed her to cast some spells, some level 1 and some more powerful enchantment spells through her flute. The next morning, the party continued on, heading north towards Grimwater Grove, trying to find the road and missing it. But they did find, up ahead, a patrol of elves and what looked like a couple of humans as well. They started a conversation. Guy and Sylvie went forward, and a spell was cast to detect magic. They asked that Guy give up his scepter and Sylvie give up her flute, both of whom did that. They were then separated from Ornan and Magram and Annalise, and then Ornan and Magram decided to move forward, and that this was probably not going to end well, and Ornan started bonking, and a fight ensued.
And honestly, good for him, kids, because never give Pops your stuff or talk to them.
Let's see what all happened. Okay, there was a storm sphere that was cast, and then it promptly dispersed as Sylvie was hit multiple times by a spear and lost concentration. Magram came running in with his swirling ether and then got dropped by some spears. He is now currently unconscious. Ornan came in and bonked like crazy, dealing a ton of damage. The Elvish mage who has gone down was knocked unconscious by Ornan. And Prelate Annalise cast Wall of Fire and actually managed to take out a few of the spearmen before her spell was dispelled by one of these Elvish mages. So now currently we have Prelate Annalise is off to the west. There is this big mass of downed bodies in the center of the map on this sort of isthmus between two different pools or ponds. We have an Elvish commander who has some sort of a two-handed, kind of curved Elvish sword, and she has her sub-commander, who is also still standing. Magram is lying unconscious there. There is one spearman left kind of in that area, along with Guy and Sylvie, and then further off to the north, we have the last surviving mage. That's where we are at. We're jumping right back into the top of the initiative order with Pranciful. Pranciful the magpie.
Pranciful is still a magpie, and he's going to attempt to sneak down and get close enough to potentially bite the surviving magic user on Guy's turn. So he's going to fly down. For stealth, I rolled a 15 to try to sneak up on this magic user.
Okay, yeah, very good. So there is a magpie flitting down towards a mage who is focused on the battle happening down further to the south. All right, Guy, it is your turn.
Okay, so first, Guy is going to use one of his attacks, because he has two attacks when he takes the attack action. One of them will be Pranciful doing a bite attack against this surviving magic user. Do I have advantage on that attack?
With your stealth check, yes, you do. This
Okay.
magic user is unaware that you are there.
All right, so it's a dirty 20 to hit
Nice.
for 6 slashing damage, and that magic user is poisoned.
rad. I love that.
Oh, wow.
Get him, Pranciful, get him.
Does that means disadvantage, right?
Yeah, so poisoned until the start of Pranciful's next turn.
All right, she is poisoned.
How's she looking?
Oh, she is looking rough.
Okay.
All right. Anything else that Guy is going to do?
Yeah, with my second attack for my attack action, I'm going to cast a cantrip. Guy's going to send out some arcane bursts at the magic user.
Okay.
The first one was a natural one for a 9. The second one was a 14, so I rolled a 6.
That will also miss. It looks like that second one looks like it would have hit her, but once it hits her, there's like this flash of light. Her cloak kind of billows back behind her and then settles back down.
Okay. And I still have a bonus action.
What a cool cloak of billowing.
For my bonus action, I'm going to raise the banner, and everybody can use their reaction to take an attack against their nearest opponent if they want to use their reaction. So, as part of that, can Pranciful take another attack?
You know what? Sure, why not?
Okay. Without advantage,
But it will
this
burn
time.
your reaction.
Okay, without advantage, he still rolled a nat 20. So that's
Oh my gosh.
another 10 damage.
What does that look like as this mage falls down dead, ripped up by a magpie?
So Pranciple is a magpie, and it's basically like it's coming at it like an eagle would, right? So the Pranciple, the magpie, is coming at it at this magic user with talons and like beak, like just shredding the face.
Oh gosh.
Nice.
I was thinking more like when Yennefer has the raven at the beginning of
flying right
Witcher
through
3.
the dude's head? No.
Yeah, right through the eye. Oh man. Okay. Well, very cool. So the last magus is down.
Does anybody else want to use their reaction to take an attack?
Yeah, I can make an attack against the guy just to the north of me that was standing over Mogram.
The vice captain, vice commander.
That is a 19 to hit
That will hit. That will get past his plate armor.
for 11 bludgeoning damage.
11. Oh, that's a nice hit. Dang, you've dealt so much damage, Ornan. That's crazy. This guy is rough. Okay, Sylvie, did you want to use a reaction to try to hit this guy with your quarterstaff?
I mean, hell yeah, brother, sure.
He's got AC of 18.
I mean, with my quarterstaff, I could try it.
You got this.
That was a 20 to hit.
That will
dirty,
hit.
but
Okay, and how much damage do you do?
1d6 minus 1, so that is 5.
Wow,
Because it was a nat 6, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's rad.
Sylvie, what does that look like as you clobber this elf?
Which one of these bitches took my flute?
It was the commander. It was the heavier duty one. But seriously, this elvish knight had 47 damage and has 52 hit points. You had to roll a 6 to get this guy down, and you do. What does that look like?
I just kind of start whacking him. I mean, it's not very pretty. Like, I just start whacking him with the stick. Not even quite like
Okay.
a baseball bat would, but just a little whack, whack, whack.
Oh,
And then
gosh.
I think it's my turn, so I want to pick up my flute.
I will at the end of my turn because that was still my bonus action.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I'm gonna just move past Sylvie to face off against the surviving spear soldier, and so be right next to Mogram. Hopefully, keep him away from Sylvie.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. So then, Sylvie, the flute is actually being held by the commander. This was the vice commander that you knocked out.
Well, did you knock him out or did you kill him?
Oh, I killed him. I killed the heck out of him.
She cracked his skull. Well, then what are you going to do, Sylvie? You have got nobody's right next to you. There's an elf commander about 5 feet or 10 feet south of you. There's the last surviving spearman is about 10 feet to the east of you. Mogram is unconscious on the ground.
I to be honest, I wanted to fight this woman for my flute, but I think that will happen no matter what. I'll get my flute back. So I'm actually going to run up to Mogram with my action and instead give him my potion, because he always is giving me kisses on the forehead, and I'm never giving him kisses.
Oh, guys.
And that's
so
a
nice.
Mogram would cry if you were awake and not dying.
2d4 or something, right?
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
So 6
6.
total.
That works. Mogram groggily opens up his eyes.
All right.
Kiss him on the forehead.
Very good. Is that your whole turn?
I'm gonna run over to whoever has my flute and threateningly stand next to them. Just wait till I have my opportunity.
Okay. All right. You move down a little bit towards this elvish commander. It is the two elvish spearmen are dead. One of the human spearmen is dead, but there's still one of these human spearmen is still alive, but it's not their turn. It is Mogram's turn. Mogram, your eyes flutter open. You are lying on the ground. You see Ornan is big, just to one side of you, and Guy is threatening a spearman on the other side of you. What are you going to do?
So Mogram will groggily stand up and kind of look around him. So he'll use half his movement for that. Looking around, how much damage has everybody taken?
Oh, Sylvie's messed up.
He is looking good.
Yeah, Ornan's armor is shiny.
And
Shiny.
frog tongue kissing on it.
It's so sensual.
And they're both boys.
Oh, of course.
I think Sylvie and Mogram basically absorbed all of the damage this last round.
Here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to use my action to shoot some Hevexton Venom darts at this person right next to me and Guy, the spearman that's left. Has he taken damage?
Oh, yeah, he has. But surprisingly little compared to all the spells that were being cast around last round.
Got it. Okay. So we'll do the Hevexton Venom dart for my action. He'll need to do a DC 17 Wisdom save.
Rolled a natural 18, does manage to save.
Oh, dang. Okay, so he doesn't take any damage. And then for my bonus action, we're going to do a level 4 healing wave. So an arcane kind of burst of blue energy kind of radiates out in a 60-foot radius, I believe. But this will heal all of us within that. 3d4 plus 5. So
Woo!
12 healing.
Nice.
That's nice.
Okie dokie. And that is it for Mogram's turn. So hopefully I'll be able to survive.
I mean, I feel almost 100% better, so.
Nice.
Does the unconscious Magus open up her eyes too? I'm just kidding.
No, definitely not.
All right. It is now the spearman's turn. He looks around at the situation. Mogram and Guy, you guys are close enough. You see panic in his eyes. He has 3 attacks. And what he's going to try to do, he's going to try to use his shield against Guy. So does a 10 hit you? No.
No.
Pretty sure it doesn't. Okay. He's going to use his shield against Mogram. Does a natural 20 hit you?
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
Jeez.
Okay, but that's
Every
only
time.
going to be 10 bludgeoning damage. I need you to make a strength difficulty 13 save.
My strong suit. Hey, I got an 18 that time,
Oh,
though.
nice.
Okay, you are still standing, and he's going to take one more shield attack against Guy to try to knock you down, and that is going to be a 22.
Okay, that
Okay.
will hit.
Okay, why don't you make your strength save difficulty 13 as you take 7 bludgeoning damage.
7 bludgeoning damage. I'm going to go ahead and use a luck point to give myself advantage on this save. It's a 17. Whew. So I stay
Okay.
standing.
You stay standing. He was hoping to knock one of you down, but he couldn't. Then he turns around and starts hightailing it to the north, trying to get away. As he leaves your threat range, both of you can make an attack of opportunity against him.
I already used my reaction this round, but Mogram could do it.
I will definitely take an attack of opportunity. So Mogam will strike out with his dagger with a 12 to hit, which probably doesn't do it.
Nope, it does not. Not with splint armor, or what has he got on? He's got chainmail and he's got a shield. So that is the spearman's turn. That brings us now to the elf commander who is dead. And that brings us now to Annalise. Annalise, it is her turn.
I've decided that in our campaigns, Firewall really turns the tide of a battle.
Oh, yeah.
Either in our favor or against us, but either way, it tends to be a light cleric doing it too.
Yeah, it's very clutch.
That's true. This guy is running away. She looks at you guys, sees who's hurt, but sees that you guys are standing now, and she's going to point at the guy fleeing, and she is going to cast 3 bolts of fire. 2 of them miss, but one of them does connect, and it ends up dealing 5 fire damage.
No, it was a nat 20. It's 15 damage.
Oh, it wasn't 15 fire
Stop trying to
damage.
cheat, Paul. Just because we're beating your elf attack puzzle.
God, what a nerd.
All right, that is Annalise's turn. She's also going to step forward, standing toe-to-toe with the elf commander next to Sylvie and Ornan. All right, that brings us now past the mage to Ornan Opalbleacher. Ornan, it's your turn, and following your turn, it is the elf commander.
Ornan is going to attempt to grapple her.
Mm.
And the DC is 8 plus my proficiency bonus plus my strength modifier. So 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 5 is 17. So DC 17, strength or dex save.
Okay, she has a +9 to this. 19. She does manage to save.
And does that take my whole, like both of my attack actions, or is
I think
that?
it's one of the attacks as part of your attack action.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just one of your attacks. You get one more attack, or you can attempt to grapple her again.
I am going to attack with the hammer this time. Or was it nat 1? So that's an 11. That will miss, and that will be my turn.
Okay. And that brings us now to her turn. She has this two-handed, curved, think Lord of the Rings, two-handed elvish sword, right?
Every time you say curved sword, I think of Skyrim. They have curved swords. Curved swords.
Actually, I played Skyrim a lot, but I didn't play the campaign enough to know what you're talking about.
I think it actually might have been some dialogue that was cut from the game that was re-put in there by a mod.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, people are always talking about people from Hammerfell having curved swords.
Some people's swords are curved. There's nothing wrong with that.
Some to the left, some to the right. It's all equally good.
Well, very good. All right, it is now her turn. She is going to take 3 attacks, and her first target, is going to be Ornan. Does a 13 hit you?
That will miss.
Okay, her second swing is going to be at Annalise. Annalise does an 11 hit you. What in the world?
You can't hit anybody else. Only me, Paul. Only me.
And then she's going to take one more attack, again against Ornan. Ornan does a natural 20 hit.
Oh, man.
That will hit.
There we go. All right.
I didn't need to confirm that. Like you knew that it hit.
I did. All right. Sorry. So with all of the modifiers, that is going to be
Holy cow.
42 slashing damage.
What?
Nice. So -4 is 38.
Okay, 38 slashing damage. And the last thing you see at the end of her turn, you see her reaching towards... you see her turn towards the spearman, just like turn her head and shout something in Elvish. The only person who understands what is said is Sylvie. And you hear her say, "Go, get help!" And then you see her reaching down towards her belt. And on her belt, you see a horn that has like golden accents, like the mouthpiece is gold. It's got a golden rim around the wide end of this horn. And she is starting to pull it off of her belt. And at the beginning of her next turn, she will blow that horn. Oof.
This bitch already had a cool instrument.
All right. But that is going to take us back up to the top of the initiative order. With Pranciful. Pranciful's up to the north a little bit after taking out the mage. There is a spearman running away, and Pranciful's about 10 feet from him.
Pranciful's going to go land right in front of him.
Pranciful, the diminutive magpie, yes.
And Pranciful actually is going to turn into the most fearsome thing he can think of and turn into a pygmy marmoset on the ground.
Nice. Okay. Is that Pranciful's whole turn?
That is his turn.
All right. Well, then, Guy, it's your turn.
And he's hissing like a snake. I don't know if marmosets hiss, but he's hissing. Guy is going to chase down the fleeing spearman and take some attacks. So he still has the banner of bravery is like turned into a trident at this point with the black smoke and the all of that. So he'll take the 3 attacks with that.
Which it's funny because this banner of bravery that you're attacking this guy with is actually the haft of a spear that elves were looking for, and now you're giving it back to them. That's awesome. I'm
giving it back to him right in his
giving
face.
It back to him so hard right now.
The first attack is a 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 12 piercing damage.
Nice.
Only rolled the D8. I was wielding it two-handed because I don't have a shield anymore. So...
are you going to risk rolling the D10 instead? Because you rolled an 8 on the damage.
I got to be honest, though.
Okay, fine. Let's roll it then.
That's 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay.
And then following it up with 2 of the ghostly arms also wielding that same trident.
Okay.
The first one is a 12, but the second one's a 22.
All right, 22 will hit.
That is 12 force damage.
Oh. This guy has taken 51 points of damage.
And
He
has
is
50
looking...
Doesn't he have 52? Oh, no, that was the other guy.
This guy also has 52 hit points.
I should have kept the other
Oh.
attack.
All
But
right.
hey, guys, I got to be honest. I have to be honest.
All right.
That's
well,
what
that
we
is
love about you, Guy. Your honesty.
Yes. Teacher's pet. All right, Sylvie, it's your turn. This elf commander is standing here. She's got a horn that she is bringing up to her lips, and you see that between her cape or her cloak and then into a belt or a strap, she's got your flute tucked in there.
Oh, that
What do you
bitch.
want to do?
Okay, how dead looking is she? Like, at all, any?
She is actually looking quite healthy.
Okay, Sylvie wants to get as direct of a shot as possible with as many hit points as possible. So this isn't a great move, but I don't want to up with my flute either. So I am going to hone missiles, but I'm going to do it at the 4th level. So
Okay.
just really try to and right into her brain. So that is 3 times. What is it? You get 3 darts at 6.
That's 18 damage then, right?
Yep.
Nice. Just like that, you doubled the amount of damage that she has taken.
Okay. And I want to do whatever I can to get in her way. Essentially, I don't know. I can't necessarily grapple her, but I'm standing in front of her.
Okay. All right, Magram, it's your turn.
Okay. All right. We're going to try something, and this could be really stupid, but we're going to try it anyway.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Magram quickly loads a couple of darts into his hand crossbow and launches out at a 3rd level his strong paralytic dart, he can target 2 different people with this. And he's going to target the captain and the spearman that's running away.
Okay.
They need to make DC 17 wisdom saves or they're paralyzed.
Wisdom saves. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, the captain gets to add a +7 to this roll. That is going to be 15.
Oh, yes.
Let me see. There might be something.
Yeah, but I'm standing here really glaring at her, so nothing's extra. My vibes.
No way.
Don't leave us hanging.
Okay. So the commander fails.
Nice.
Okay.
Her body locks up rigid. Let's see if the spearman also fails. They both lock up rigid and are paralyzed.
Yes.
Do they get to make saving throws?
At the end of each of its turns, the target repeats the save, ending the spell on itself on a success. So yeah, at the end of each of their turns, they can try again.
Then we are not leaving initiative.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you want to do?
I don't know that there's anything I can do for a bonus action right now. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, then it is the spearman's turn. The spearman with 1 hit point left. His whole turn is wasted, and then as far as a wisdom saving throw does not save, is still paralyzed. And we are on to Prelate Annalise. Annalise is going to step forward around the paralyzed commander, and she's going to touch Ornan, and she's going to heal Ornan of some of his damage. She is going to give you Cure Wounds at 3rd level, which is going to be a total of... Wow!
Oh, wow.
32 healing! Holy cow!
Whoa.
What in the
my
world?
Oh, dear. That's a lot of
I
help.
think she kissed you on the mouth, not just the forehead.
And at least I know you thought that way
There
of
was
me.
tongue, dude. There was tongue on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, how
It was
is
the
that
kiss
possible?
Of life.
It's the only way you can heal that many points.
Oh, that's right, because healing now is more powerful than it used to be, right?
Yeah, they doubled the number of dice for all healing.
Yeah. I was going to say, because, yeah, all right, because that's 6d8 instead of 3d8. Oh my gosh, that's a huge heal. Okay, that's her turn. Ornan, it is your turn. You have this elf commander in front of you. She is paralyzed. What are you going to do?
Ornan is going to take her sword and the horn from her, and he's going to start to tie her up.
I imagine this. I will allow you to do that with advantage, but I do imagine that because
Sure.
she's like, it's called spastic paralysis, like she's like locked in place, that her grip on her sword is going to be somewhat strong. Let's just make the opposed strength checks. Either you can do it with advantage or she can do it with disadvantage. Which would you prefer?
I'll just do it with advantage.
Okay. And she'll just make a strength check. She rolled a 17.
Ornan got a 23.
Okay. You pull which one first, the horn or the sword?
The horn.
Okay. And let's do it one more time.
Do it to me one more time.
She rolled a natural 20. That's going to be a 29.
I could not beat it. I got a 17 on that.
Okay, so she is still holding on to this sword then.
Okay.
You have the horn in your hand. I will tell you this, no insight check needed, Ornan. That is probably a better move, having the horn as opposed to the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then any bonus actions or anything else you want to do?
That'll be it for now.
Okay. In that case, it is her turn. She goes through her whole turn. She gets to try to save with a +7 to this roll. She got a 12. She is still paralyzed. Back up to the top of the initiative. Pranciful and Guy, you guys can go at the same time if you want to. There is one spearman left. You guys are surrounding him. He has 1 hit point left and he is paralyzed. What are you going to do?
He's gonna have Pranciful like jump on his face and attack him.
Okay. With advantage,
Yep.
make an attack.
Also, are we kind of far north? They've probably never seen a marmoset before, so this is just like a creature of kind of human-looking eyes just attacking you.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And
what'd you get?
not only that, but like Pranciful's shivering too, because marmosets aren't made for the cold. It's a 23 to hit
that will definitely hit.
for 4 slashing damage. He's poisoned and dead.
Yes, he is poisoned and dead. You see this spearman topple. That is Pranciful's turn and one of Guy's attacks. Is there anything else that Guy wants to do?
Guy is going to come over here next, walk over next to Sylvie and surround this the commander, who is paralyzed as well. And he'll say to Mogram, "Did you get her too?" And that'll be my turn.
All right, Sylvie, your flute.
I want my flute
is-
back.
Okay, you can make just actually I think she's not technically holding on to it and she's paralyzed, so she can't fight you. So you can just reach up and grab your flute as a free item interaction at this point.
All right, that's what I want to do. I want to grab that flute and clutch it,
And then you
say,
have
"Shame on you!"
shame. Then you have a bonus action and an action. Is there anything else you want to do?
She's still well. I think at this point she's surrounded. I'm just gonna hang out.
Okay, she still looks very healthy. I'm just keeping the initiative going because she gets to try to break out of this paralyzation. And if somebody wants to start using their action to start tying her up, then that's what's going to have to happen. Otherwise,
Okay, then yes,
we're going
I
to
will
stay at
start.
initiative.
I will start tying her up. Then, yeah.
Okay.
No, like we're gonna I'm not gonna attack her while she's down.
All right, Mogram, do you want to help her so you can get her all kind of like secured before it's her turn again?
Yeah, and yeah, let's do that. I mean, she's got a death grip on her sword, though, still, right?
Yes, she does. And you try to like move her arms to pin him down by your side, but she is like stuck in place, like in a battle pose. I will say this: if Ornan, you got one more turn before it's her turn again. If you want to try to wrestle that sword away from her again, we can do that.
Yeah, Ornan will give it another shot.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and see if you can get it? She rolled a 24.
I got a 25, yeah.
20,000.
All right, yeah, you managed to yank the sword out of her hands. She is now disarmed. You continue to tie her up. She attempts to save and is still paralyzed as you tie her up. And we are going to cue victory music.
That fight was looking really rough when we first started.
Here's where we are. We are in the middle of the swamp and the snow. You're standing on this little isthmus between kind of bigger areas of dry land. There's a pond to the north, a pond to the south, and you are surrounded by the bodies of the dead. As you look around, there are 2 dead humans with spears and shields. There are 2 dead elves with spears and shields. There is a dead elvish magus. There is another unconscious magus. There's a dead elvish knight, and then there is their commander, who is tied up and paralyzed, and you manage to get all the ropes cinched up nice and tight. Do you do anything else to bind this woman before the paralyzation ends? Because it lasts a minute, right?
Yeah, it's 1 minute.
Yeah, with a save every 6 seconds. But Guy, if nobody's done it yet, Guy would try to gag her with something.
Okay. Yeah. Her mouth is open as she's like screaming a battle cry, so you can get like a cloth in there. So she is now bound and gagged as the paralyzation wears off. And here's where you are. She is once the paralyzation ends. I imagine that probably Ornan, since you're the strongest, you'd probably like yank on the rope to get it really, really tight, and she falls to the ground basically hog-tied. There's no getting out, at least not right now. What do you guys want to do?
And that's how we catch the chicken hares. Back where I'm from.
Chicken hairs. That
Chicken
sounds
hairs.
delicious. Wait. Wasn't that a Netflix movie?
I think we should maybe question this person on, what the hell is going on for the last 3 months?
Perhaps we should relocate to a different location, if in case somebody comes to look for these individuals.
Good idea.
Also, it might be useful to take some of their clothing so we can disguise ourselves.
Wasn't there another one that was not killed but was simply knocked unconscious?
This one there.
Is she tied up?
The magus that you knocked unconscious, you guys can tie her up. She's not fighting at all. She's totally knocked out.
Priority 1 should be information. We need to know how to get into the city. Undisturbed.
Perhaps we could inquire to see if they know what's happened to the Lady Hawk.
Or Duchess.
Or the horses, I guess.
Margrim, I was actually thinking, there's this really funny story where one of the king and his knights, they have, instead of horses, they have men following them around with coconut shells. I think that's your kind of horse.
That's honestly hilarious. Let's drag these people someplace out of sight.
That's so funny. Anyway, Annalise says we could dump the bodies in the bog. They'd be
Again, I
harder
think
to find there.
It might be useful to strip some uniform pieces first, but yes.
Good idea. And from that play,
Yes.
we need to stuff their bodies with rocks.
Oh, that's right.
Not in a bog. In a bog, it'll naturally sink down.
Oh,
I get to do some surgery. It's
my
been a
gosh.
long time.
I forgot that's what you're supposed to do because, obviously we missed the performance that we had tickets for, so I'm still salty about that.
All right.
Lin-Manuel Miranda was going to be in the cast.
I heard he wrote all the songs.
Well, perhaps Margrim will get started on stripping down, checking all the bodies, pulling
Okay.
off uniforms and stuff, and
Yeah, perfect.
and weighing down the bodies with rocks and sliding them into the bog.
It's also snowy enough, we might be able to just bury them in some snow and it wouldn't melt for another few months.
That's also true.
Yeah, just toss them into the bog. I think at this point, we got places to be.
Yeah, archaeologists in the distant future will find them really well preserved because of the bog bodies.
If anything, if you think about it, we're actually kind of heroes. In the spans of time.
Oh my gosh.
We're helping science. Future
Ornan?
scientists would be so grateful that they're going to be able to understand the diet of elves at this time when they cut open their stomachs to investigate what they find in their mummified corpses.
Yeah, rocks apparently. Ornan. So Ornan, as you are standing there, you finish tying up this elf commander. You look at with this horn in your hand. You've got the horn. You've also got the sword. 2 things that you notice. The horn has
Gives me the horn.
The horn has some intricate scrimshaw work on it, but flowing lines and patterns. It looks magic. right? You don't know that it's magic, but you're like, this looks like a magic item. The sword itself also has it has some runes that are inscribed along the blade, and even if this sword is not magical, it looks like it is a work of art and is probably incredibly valuable.
All right, Ornan will put them both in the backpack.
Can Sylvie read those runes? Like, are they Elvish?
Yeah, actually, yes, you can. You can read them. It's
say?
arcane. It's actually written in like almost like it's a combination of Elvish and arcane symbols. And basically, it says my sword is my shield.
All right, so we will relay that. Like, I don't know what that means. Seems like somebody was kind of confused, but it's all good.
Sounds like she has a really poor understanding of military equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So the elf commander who is tied up, you see that she is wearing some very well-made plate armor. The elf knight who went down, who died, is wearing plate armor as well and has a great sword.
No kissing frogs on it though, so it's not.
No
interested.
frogs.
No, not as cool.
No frogs, but also probably too big for you. I mean, you could resize it if you wanted to, but
Actually, my backpack is at max capacity with the other plate armor suits that I've got.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But everyone has these cloaks that are gold that are green with silver trim. As you start looking at the unconscious wizard, the unconscious magus, you see a spell book. You see that as you kind of pull the cloak back to see what else she might have, she has a component pouch, and she also has. You said that you were looking specifically, Magram. You see that she's wearing actually like a chain shirt, and when you lift it, it actually feels incredibly light.
You keep trying to give us Elvish chain, Paul. This time we'll take it instead of the smelly cloak.
So you also notice that the spearmen, they all have chainmail, they all have shields, and they all have spears. So Guy, you were complaining about not having a shield. There are now 4 shields that are lying here. Some of them are a little bit more scorched than others, but all of them are serviceable.
Take a perfectly preserved shield and one of the cloaks for myself.
Sylvie really likes her quarterstaff. She has attachment to it, but she's gonna cut off one of those spear tips and just like not duct tape it, goose tape it to the top of her staff, just so that way she fits in visually.
Okay. All right, and then let's see. As far as the other magus, that's the only one you haven't gone through yet. This is just cursory glance. This isn't like detecting magic or anything. You do find her spell book, and she is not wearing any kind of a chain shirt underneath. Also, as far as money, you do find amongst all of them, you find 160 gold. And as you're looking at these gold, you see that the image imprinted on them is that of an elegant Elvish face, and the script around it is actually written in Elvish. So this is gold, and it counts as a gold coin, but it's obviously not from Via Siberia.
Got it.
And Ornan, I'm going to need to stuff some of my stuff into your backpack because I am really, really at the edge of my encumbrance.
I can fit a few more things, but I'm getting quite stuffed too. You can see all 4 of those plate suits are poking right out the top.
Yes.
Paul, quick question. I
yes.
have my money is taking up weight. Did we want our money to take weight or not?
I mean, I think it should.
Okay, because it's an option to turn. It's actually an option to. By default, it doesn't weigh anything when you make a character, so you have to actually go and turn it on. And so I had turned it on for me.
Gotcha. Annalise offers to carry some of the stuff. That's not a problem. She's helping out too.
Okay.
I've got about 80 pounds more that I can carry.
Oh, that's a lot.
To be honest, I also have like 80 pounds I could carry, so I don't have a whole lot going on right now.
I'll give a stiletto to Sylvie.
What about that money you were talking about? Just joking.
And I'll give a dirk to Annalise. And I will... Ooh. And who wants to hold the spyglass?
I want to watch a bird watching glass.
Okay, you can have the spyglass too. You can
Hell
hold...
yeah.
Okay.
I could fit one more suit of plate armor, so I will take one of their suits of plate armor to put.
Are you going to strip
5.
the dead elf, or are you going to strip
No.
the elf commander?
The elf commander.
Oh, okay. The even more intricate looking plate.
Yeah.
Yes, it is obviously elvish made. Okay. All right, she is now just in like her gambeson. You see that she starts to shiver as you have taken off her armor. She is, her armor didn't necessarily keep her warm, but it wasn't like cold weather gear. But because it's not on her anymore, she does feel more of a chill. And then, is anybody you guys gonna take some cloaks or anything to like try to look like you belong?
Oh,
You took a cloak, yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought that was part. Yeah, we're definitely like bringing disguises. That's why I put this spear on my staff. Obviously, come on, can't you tell?
All right.
Yeah. Are there 5 elvish cloaks then?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 6 elvish cloaks.
Well, let's
There's
take all
6 elvish cloaks and 2 green cloaks, but they're human make. They're not like they don't have the silver trim on them.
Got it.
So who took which cloak?
Guy took an elf cloak.
Okay.
Yeah, Margrim would take an elvish cloak. Actually, I think Margrim's going to take one of the human cloaks.
Wait, elves are shorter generally than humans, right? Like Sylvie would be better with the elf.
It's comparable.
Okay,
and Annalise is going to take one of the human cloaks as well. She follows your lead.
That only leaves elvish cloaks for everybody else.
Yes. The elf commander has an elvish cloak on. So here's the 2 human cloaks are gone. So we've got. I'm just going to kind of line these up so you guys can see.
Somehow this feels important. This decision feels important.
I feel like noticing the quality of all this, Margrim's going to pull out his toning rod and just start
there we go. Okay, all right. You start to get some definite pings, right? Time is like passing here as you guys are standing in the swamp, but you feel like, I think you imagine, okay, this is probably worth the time because of what we're dealing with, right? You pull out the toning rod and you immediately get pings from all over. The sword and horn that Ornan is holding definitely are magic. The horn specifically comes back with divination. The sword has the school of abjuration attached to it. Okay?
Is it a long sword or is it a great sword?
It is a long sword.
Ooh.
So behind the screen,
really?
when I was rolling damage for the dude, for the lady who was using it, I was using just the stats from the monster block, but it is a long sword.
So I could use it then. It's not two-handed.
You 100% could use it.
But it will kill people, Ornan.
I know.
Switch halfway through the battle. Okay. The something else that you guys spot, the mage who was not wearing chain, her cloak looks to be magical, and it is I think it's also abjuration. You spot that the commander, who is paralyzed and tied up, her boots are resonating with magic. They resonate with transmutation. And then on the magus who was wearing the chain, you see on her finger is a ring that resonates with abjuration magic.
Take all the gear.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's boots and a ring and a cloak that you guys did not originally grab. That's why I was asking, like, which cloak are you going to take, Sylvie?
All right, I'll grab the cloak that is magic, not the one that, that one.
All right, so you've now spent, because you had to, like, strip armor off and everything. You guys have been here for probably about 25 minutes at this point.
All right, into the bog you go.
Blop, blop, blop. You start hurling bodies into the bog, all except for the one surviving magus and the elf commander.
Did I say that?
Wait. No. We need to talk to them.
I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Prancival might, though. He's ferocious.
Yes, we talk to them first, and then we slide them into the bog.
That's right.
All right. Okay, so are you guys going to, like, now take these 2 prisoners and move out somewhere else, or is what's your plan?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, at least someplace where we're slightly safe or covered.
Let's get off the road, and I'll bring up the tortoise shell, and we can have some, maybe, protection in there away from prying eyes.
Which direction do you go, and how far do you go? Remember, you guys are not on the road. You guys are kind of just moving through the swamp. You couldn't find the road.
Oh, that's right.
So which direction do you go, and how far away from this battle do you actually end up traveling?
I think we should maybe put a bit of distance. Maybe we could walk for another 20, 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, further north, right?
Well, not more north, because it seems like that's where these folks were guarding, right? So maybe
Right.
east or west. Well, we don't want to run into more people.
But they wouldn't be there to stop us. If we can get 20, 30 minutes further north, we maybe get past this line before people realize this patrol is missing.
Or we get into deeper areas where it could be more heavily patrolled.
Can you send Principal ahead real quick to see if there's any caves or anything to hang around in?
Yeah, you see, Prancival has turned back into a corgi, and he's just covered in gore and blood. And shakes out his fur, turns into a magpie, and flies off.
Okay. All right. Why don't you make just a quick investigation check with Prancifal's stats or survival, whichever you prefer.
Please survival. His intelligence is -2.
Okay, survival.
That's only a 9.
Okay. Prancifal comes back, and Prancifal's gone for probably about 5 minutes. Comes back and is like, the impression you get is just more swamp, more bog. So, as far as finding a place to like stay out of, like a cave or something, you're not gonna be able to find anything like that right now.
So he didn't find any natural shelter or anything, but he also didn't see any additional patrols for the north. So
That is true.
I don't know. Wherever you want to go.
Do you think your shell will hide us?
I can turn it pure white, and if we're underneath some trees or in a snowbank or something, then it might help to disguise us a little bit.
Might as well just move forward, I feel like, at this point.
Okay, so who is carrying the unconscious Magus?
Ornan will sling her over his shoulder.
Okay, and then who is corralling the commander? And are you letting her walk under her own power?
First, we're going to take her shoes off. Excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
think we need to take those from you.
Oh,
Okay.
oh man, okay.
She starts kicking at you as you start trying to pull them off, but she is tied up and she can't get a good swing or anything like that. So yeah, you manage to take her boots off. She's got like woolen stockings on, and then you stand her back up in her socks, and she starts walking through the snow in her socks.
Guy will be kind of pushing her from behind, like directing her from behind, but Prancival has the end of the rope and is walking her like a leash in front of her.
Gosh.
Nice.
All right. You
and
guys
Sylvie
managed.
seeing this woman in her full beauty as I just finally got the computer back up and running and Paul opened it. Who walked right next to her as a free agent who is no longer tied down.
This is the same woman that you were mad at for taking your flute.
Yeah, and I hope she takes my flute, if you know what I mean.
All right. So you guys travel for a little ways. You're heading further north towards Grimwater Grove. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
That was my vote, but Jordan made a good point.
I mean, we can do that. That's fine. We can go there. Let's just be careful.
Yeah, you guys start to move out. You guys travel for 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so. The elf commander is starting to lag, not because she's not strong, but because her feet are frozen as she is walking in the snow with no shoes on. You come to a place where there's, the swamp has like some big rocky outcrops in places, and you come to a place where there's like two rocks and then like a tree, and you feel like if you were to go in between that kind of triangle that's made there and put your turtle shell there, that you might be able to have a little bit more privacy. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be like a cave or anything like that, but that's the best thing that you've been able to find so far.
All right, I'll start doing that.
Okay.
And as soon as the turtle shell is up, I'll start right in on ritually casting Identify as well.
Okay. All right. The turtle shell pops up. What's everyone going to do?
I'm gonna make sure this bitch doesn't have frostbite on her toesy woesies.
Yeah, I think we'll get them situated and make sure that all their binds are still tight.
Oh yeah, that too.
I think I might try to start checking out this Ring of Abjuration magic.
Ornan is watching the commander very closely, like watching her to try and escape, sort of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, as you go to check her ropes, you see that she actually managed to slip one of her wrist came out of one of the loops of the rope, and you catch it. She hadn't gotten very far out of trying to escape, but you do manage to tighten that up, and you kind of cinch it up so that she can't try to get out that same way again. Annalise goes into the middle of the turtle, and she casts like a continual... Wait, that's not a cantrip, is it?
Continual Flame is a level 2 spell.
Oh, no, never mind.
Bonfire?
No, she doesn't have that. She casts Sacred Flame. No, I'm just kidding.
It's warm in here anyway. It's warm and dry.
It is warm. She was just thinking specifically about her toes, because the elf you pull off the wool socks and and her toes are white as can be and starting to like the tips are incredibly white with blood loss. You see her grimace as the socks are pulled off, but she is still bound. She still is gagged. Okay. So, Magram, you're looking at the ring. Ornan, you check the bounds. What else did you want to do while you're in here? Are you going to start talking to people, or are we going to wait and figure out what all the items are first?
Ornan would like to talk to him while everybody's doing, figuring stuff out.
Yeah, I want to know what's been happening the last few months.
Yeah, I think rather than doing the ring, actually, I want to change something up, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Margram's going to start meditating, and he's going to try to create the astral mind link between all of us, so that way we can communicate with each other through telepathy rather than communicating out loud in front of these two prisoners.
Nice. That's a great idea. Okay, awesome.
That's a great way to talk shit about people in front of them. I love it.
100%.
We have our own little group chat.
As soon as the spell is completed, you hear in Sylvie's mind going, "I'd give her my flute. I'd give her my flute."
I didn't know that.
I'll take the 10 minutes to do that as ritually casting that.
Judging by those lips, I'd say she's got the embouchure for flautism.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so while you're doing that, before anyone starts talking, so you guys can all be telepathically linked, Guy, what are you identifying first?
Guy's going to start with if Ornan hands it over, that sword.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The sword is a unique item, basically. It looks like it's a sword that is probably has been passed down in a family. And as you cast Identify, you actually recognize this sword actually is a named sword. It's named Goringdel, and it is a +2 longsword that one time per short rest you can cast Shield of Faith.
What? This sword is amazing, and it's an Elvish sword, so maybe it'd be best if I kept it. But here's what it does, and I'll explain to everybody what it does.
+2 longsword casts Shield of Faith.
One time
Once
per short rest.
Yeah.
All right. And then the mind link pops up, and it is now time to talk if that's what you want to do.
I would have waited for the mind link to pop up before I said what the sword does.
Perfect. Okay.
Although, I will say, if we're going to let her live, this seems to be like a family heirloom. I'm not sure I'd like just straight up robbing someone. I'm okay picking over the belongings of the dead, but robbing someone and especially something this important, I don't know.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we might just let these folks go. Look at Annalise. She was a bitch, but we ended up getting her on our side. Love you, girl.
Sylvie, she's in the chat.
She's like, I'm in the chat. Exactly. She's like, I'm in the group chat.
No, I'm saying, love you, girl.
Wait a second. Who let in the editor from The Atlantic into this chat?
Exactly.
Jeff, what's his name? Gold something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. What a timeline. All right. So,
Well,
yes.
Here's the thing. I think that this sword could be leverage in a sense. It must be valuable and important to her. There may be a way that we can leverage that when we're trying to extract information.
Sure, but let's maybe try to go with honey before we go with vinegar.
Sure. I'd like to get passage into the city, and I think maybe if we work our cards, they can help us.
Do we want to be honest with her, or do we want to... What lie do we tell her? What deception do we use to get into the city and also not have to silence her permanently?
Annalise speaks up and says, we killed all of her allies except for one. I mean, do you think she'll actually answer anything?
Probably not, but doesn't mean we don't try.
I can tell that she's out for good. I think that we just need to give her a chance, guys.
Sylvie, stop thinking with your...
Look, I don't know that we'll be able to extract much, but I think we have to try at least. We could try to separate the two of them and then interrogate them separately.
Well, the one's still sleeping, so...
Yes, sleeping.
There's 2 of them. We've got 2 shots at getting a guide into the city.
Let's see. How could we potentially use that to our advantage?
I'm very good at lying, but I think at this point it'd be very hard to come up with something that's like, actually, we were justified in killing all those people, and we're your bosses, so do what we say. So, threats, I don't know, if they are, especially she seems tough as nails. And yes, Sylvie, also, like, super hot, but...
Whoa, I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
But, she doesn't seem like the kind that would give in, even with the leverage of this family heirloom.
Well, let's maybe just ask and, see what they're willing to talk about.
Well, here's an idea. And maybe this is not something that people would love necessarily, but let's come up with our list of things that we need to know. We threaten them both, with them both awake, in front of each other. And when they inevitably do not cooperate, something tells me that the commander is going to be very difficult to intimidate. So I think what we do is we pull her away and imply that we're going to kill her. And then when we come back, perhaps the other one will be a little bit more amenable to helping us.
Yeah, but I'm not sure we want to leave our turtle shell.
As long as I don't leave the turtle shell, it'll still be here.
We could take the commander out and, I don't know, set her free, I suppose?
Oh, that sounds like a terrible idea, but...
We could break a leg and set her free with just a broken leg.
Jesus.
No.
And
like
you know that is a death sentence out here.
No shoes. No
like
legs,
a minor broken leg.
Okay, we sprain her ankle and leave her out here in the wilderness.
Guys, I'm starting to think that maybe it was no mercy in sparing these people.
Are we the bad guys here?
I don't...
Definitely not. No, we just need some information. We just ask them a few questions. They'll tell us because they get where we're coming from. We're real people connecting.
Let's not forget that this is an occupying force as well. Like, they are a conquering army of a formerly free people, or free-ish people. People subject to the king, but still. Yeah, maybe we should ask if they've improved the lives of the people they've taken over, right?
Yeah, honestly, that might not be a bad plan. Let's just kind of see where we go from this.
She is watching this whole thing happen, like her eyes just watching you guys as you guys are not moving your mouths, but you guys keep looking at each other, and she can tell that there's communication happening.
For like minutes.
Just looking
you
guys are just like
forth.
staring at each other. And she's just sitting there kind of trying to curl up and stay warm. I know it's warm in the turtle shell, but she's trying to kind of rub feeling back into her feet.
Well, with her conscious and looking around, Guy is going to look right at her and holding the scepter that he got back. He's going to look her right in the eyes, and he's going to attempt to intimidate her. He's going to use the spell Whisper, which is the message spell, to speak directly to her mind and say, "We're trying to decide if and how to kill you." And that's an intimidation.
Jesus, that start.
Yeah, I'm trying to intimidate her.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so that's a 21 intimidation.
You see her upper lip kind of get a little bit stiffer. She kind of holds her chin up a little bit higher.
I want to cast Detect Thought so I can hear what she thinks.
Are you going to try to delve deep? The first thing that you get is just a feeling of belief. She believes what Guy just said. Are you going to dive deeper in?
Yeah, let's dive.
You try to dive deeper, but with her wisdom save of a 23, you cannot get past that first line. The only thing that you get is that she believes Guy when he says that you guys are going to kill her.
Well, to be fair, Guy didn't share that he just said that to her to anybody else yet.
So you sense that she believes Guy. And fear. You get a little bit of fear, but she's physically not showing it.
In our minds, amongst everybody, back to the group chat, Guy will say, "I think I just started an inn with her." She seems to be pretty scared of us now.
Yeah, Girly Pop is terrified. And Sylvie will bend down and hand over, like, not one of the magic cloaks, but, like, one of, like, the cloaks or some sort of, like, thing to keep warm and wrap it around her toesy woesies.
Okay.
I think while Sylvie's playing good cop, Margrim opens up his bag and pulls out his surgical equipment and starts laying it out.
And it's still bloody from all of the rocks you put into people.
Oh, man.
This is just to kind of add to the intimidation stuff. If we end up doing additional intimidation checks, I want it to be done with advantage.
The ambience.
All right. So Prelate and Elise, she says in your guys' mind, she's like, are we going to start asking questions? She's just like, we've all been standing here for a while.
Ornan will walk up and take the gag out of her mouth and say, sorry about bonking all your friends. What's your name?
She looks at you and she says, Ileana.
A pleasure. My name's Ornan. We've got some things we'd like to ask you.
Guy will also one more time cast Whisper into her mind, again trying to intimidate her even further, and say, this is one that you're going to want to try to please. He's very dangerous when he's cross.
No need for another check. You already intimidated her once. You see her eyes flash to you, Guy, and then she looks back at Ornan. What is to become of me?
Oh, I think we'll see shortly. It depends on how amenable you'll be to helping us out.
We're really not bad guys. We're actually here to help. Well, maybe not you specifically, but in general.
You're still casting Detect Thoughts, and you detect that the word that just pops into your mind is lie. She looks back at you, Ornan, and she says, what can I do to help you?
We need a quiet and stealthy passage back to Kladvina. There's a man there that we need to find.
And you think I can get you to Kladvina?
Why wouldn't you be able to?
I was going to take you to Grimwater Grove before you attacked. That is halfway to Kladvina already.
I think Margrim would turn over his shoulder while he's kind of preparing his stuff, and he would say, yes, but you are going to take us there effectively as prisoners, with none of our equipment, none of our weapons, none of the things that we rely on to protect ourselves.
Yes, to make sure that it was safe to allow you into the city.
Well, I don't necessarily think your idea of safe and our idea of safe are the same.
She looks at herself wearing no armor, and she looks over at her sword, and she says, you've done the same to me that I was going to do to you, except for much less kindly.
Well, yeah, but you kind of did come over and you kind of are invading our land here. Like, I'm not trying to start fights, but like 3 months ago, y'all were here in control.
And then she kind of stiffens up in her spine. She says, 1,200 years ago, we were.
That's a really long time to bring up. That's kind of crazy.
She starts speaking in Elvish, and she says, this is our ancestral home. We were pushed out of it, and we have now finally come back to take what is ours. The only one who understood that was Sylvie.
It seems a little Zionist. 12,000 years ago?
Sorry, 1,200 years ago. 1,200 years.
1,200? That's a really long time.
It's a long time. Yes, it is a long time.
I'm not saying you're not welcome here. I'm just saying that's quite the claim to make to take over our towns. And we would just like the opportunity to know a little bit more about what's been going on. We've been camping for the last 3 months, and would love to be a little bit more acquainted with how this change in power occurred.
I don't know how much of that was in common, but Margrim would chime in if he understood any of that. Or was that all going to be in Elvish?
I would speak in common back.
I understand that you feel some claim to this land. My family has dwelled in the Pithrian Barony for many hundreds of years as well. And you cannot expect us to simply roll over and let you occupy this place again. There was going to be resistance. Don't be naive.
She looks at you and she says, I am a soldier. I am a captain.
Do we know her name yet? Can we ask her name while she is introducing herself?
It's Ileana or something like that.
Yeah, Eliana. Eliana. Eliana.
So that's the name of the female lead's character in Fall Guy, the movie. That's the alien queen's name is Eliana.
Well, okay, here we go.
It's a classic.
Yes, it's awesome. It's a great movie, too.
I am Captain Eliana, and I serve under Ilithar Ardril. And you would know Ilithar in Elvish means heir or prince. So, Prince Ardril. And I have come to take back what is rightfully ours. You can do what you want with me, but I am a soldier of Eldoralus. I will take your punishments gladly. And she sits there, and through your detect thoughts, fear, sadness, and resignation. She stops talking.
Margrim will think to the group, this one will be a tough nut to crack. I don't know that we're going to extract much, if any, information from her.
Can you knock her out so we can interrogate her colleague? Maybe even almost make it look like she's dead?
We could beat her pretty badly, yes.
No, Jesus Christ,
probably...
no, I thought maybe you just had like a potion that would slow breathing, like Romeo-Juliet situation.
You guys could beat her 125 more hit points if you need to knock her out.
Oh man, nope.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's the only thing I could think of is do non-lethal damage. It's gonna take a lot of beating.
That's not what I meant.
I don't think we should beat anyone that's restrained.
That's a paddling.
I'm not as invested in their invasion as I am finding Peter. I feel like that's going to pull us away from our task.
I didn't want to be involved in this war in the first place. I tried to send a warning to Swordmaster Gelmar, and obviously that didn't work in stemming the invasion, but we have other duties to attend to.
So then maybe do we just compromise and let, work together and say that we're doing something greater and, I don't know, see if we can work with these folks?
Everyone make insight checks.
Ornan got a 13.
Guy got a 21.
Sylvie got a 7.
Margrim got a 28.
28?
Okay, so Magram, I think you were already just about to say it. This commander is a true believer and is ready to die for what she is doing. You don't think that she will help in any way?
Yeah, I think what I'll tell the group is exactly that. She is strong-willed. She's not going to give in to anything that we ask of her. I think probably the best thing we can do is try to lead her in the wrong direction and let her go.
Or we have the perfect prison where she would still be somewhat free. We could take her back to the Swamp Sister's hut, send her through the portal, and leave her there without a ring.
No, I don't think we want to. No.
That is half a day's walk.
Are you worried that Baldric would fall for her and forget you?
I mean, that is
because that's kind of what you're doing right now.
That is not what I'm doing. Look at my flute. It's still here.
Flash over to King Baldric, and he's like, he and Ashenly are like, hey, so they're like in a hot tub together. So anyway, yeah, so she says we're open. So how you doing?
Which honestly, same. Respect.
It's just a poly relationship now.
Oh gosh, yeah. All right. Okay, so it seems like you're at an impasse. What are you guys going to do with this commander? You still have this unconscious mage.
Here's what I think we could do. For the commander herself, I think what we should tell her is we can talk amongst ourselves, but I think we lead her to the idea that we are looking to reconnect with our troop at Corbuli, and that we should probably return and report to the Inquisition what we have uncovered. And then we could leave her tied up, but perhaps leave a fire nearby her. And I would imagine that she is resourceful. I would imagine she will be able to eventually free herself. But if not, perhaps the smoke from the fire will not lead to a death sentence for her in these conditions, and they'll eventually see the smoke.
That's probably as good of an idea as any we'll come up with. I like the idea of invoking the name of the Inquisition, since we have two here who look like you're obviously very closely tied to them. Yeah, Margaret, I thought you were going to try to dress in white. We need to get you some white leather.
I know. I
pearl
really
mask.
want nice white leather, something kind of cool and chic, little bit shiny.
Mhm.
With black spots or just all white?
I mean, if it had like the brown cow spots on it, there was like a white cow leather,
Oh
I
no.
like that.
and then I wear a cowboy hat, and I say, "Howdy, my partners."
Annalise says, yeah, partners, that sounds better than associates. Just saying.
Play your cards right.
Yeah, you're back in the real world, girlfriend. Oh, slow down.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do with this elf commander?
I like what Margrim suggested, so I can tell her the lie. She probably will believe me because I've successfully scared her.
You could try asking her how far away is the Corbuli from here, or see if we can try to extract. It might give her the impression that that's where we're trying to get to.
Also, what are we going to do with the other dude?
Let's bring her with us a little bit longer.
Okay.
I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like the other one may be a little bit more susceptible to giving us what we need.
All right. I will look her in the eye again and attempt to look scary. In fact, I'm going to cast See Invisibility so I have extra eyes.
Okay, that doesn't give you any bonus, but
It
I'll say,
doesn't, but
since she's already, here's what I'll say, since she's already intimidated, if you're going to try to deceive her, I'll give you advantage because she's intimidated by you.
Margrim's going to do something kind of strange too. He's going to take out his knife, walk up to her, and cut off a large chunk of her hair on her left side.
And then smell it.
and then
Maybe
take
give it a
her
little
boot.
taste.
And start chewing it.
Exactly.
And take some of the teeth you collected earlier and start chewing on those too.
And then take her boot you took off of her and put it on your neck.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, it fits
And,
so
just-
nice.
and lay in the fetal position and just start moaning. Anyway.
No, but I will cut like a chunk of her hair out and
Yeah,
pocket
nice.
it.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
okay.
with all that in mind, I say, I'll look at her and I'll say, the next words out of your mouth are going to determine how much you suffer. We got turned around in this swamp. How far is it to Corbuli? And point the direction. And we'll make it fast.
Break your deception check.
That's a 26.
She points southwest, so that is the correct direction. Because you guys actually do know kind of where you are. She says, Corbuli will take you at least 8 days walking, but you'll never get there. If you don't get caught by one of our patrols, then one of our boats will get you. And if you can get past us, the Pithrians on the other side of the battle lines, they are not letting anybody across. And they will think that you are spies. So, you are doomed.
All right. With that, Guy will say in his mind, I think it's time for us to go.
Got an idea too. So with Mask's pendant that I have, I can cast a sphere of darkness that'll last for 10 minutes. I'm thinking we cast this on her so she can't see where we take off to.
Let's get the fire going first and then we'll go.
Smoke bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Annalise was going to cast Continual Flame, but it specifically says no heat.
Not only that, but it also, look at the material components, pretty expensive
Yeah,
too.
it's 50 gold. Yeah,
Holy
50
cow.
gold. Yeah. I mean, it's a cool spell. It never goes out. Yeah, you guys get a fire going, and then as you guys are about ready to go, you pack up all your stuff, you get the magus back over your shoulder, Ornan, and then, Magram, you cast Sphere of Darkness as you guys move away.
Don't forget to rate us 5 stars.
Yeah, Margrim's gonna, before he casts it, he's gonna say, May Iona have mercy on your soul, and then he'll cast the Sphere of Darkness on her.
All right. You guys scoot off and leave her. Which direction are you going? Are you still heading towards Grimwater Grove?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
North.
All right. You guys start heading north. You guys start moving. After about 10 minutes, you know that the spell is gone. She's still tied up, though, right?
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like loosely, not like cutting off blood circulation.
I would have argued to keep her in like tight, keep the ropes tight, because she probably could get close enough to the fire to like even burn through them. She'd hurt herself a
gonna
little
say-
bit, but yeah.
Yeah, she'd figure out a way. So I think as tight as we could get it, she'd eventually figure it out.
All right. Okay, so it sounds like you guys got some information, but not necessarily what you were looking for. You still have this magus over your shoulder as you guys continue to head north towards Grimwater Grove. After a few hours, the magus starts to stir on your shoulder, Ornan. It is now, at this point, the sun is starting to go down.
We would
So
have
it's
gagged
starting
her as
to
well.
Yeah, I imagine you would have. And you tied her up already, too. But the sun is starting to go down, so it's probably about time to start looking for another place to camp for the night. And you assume if everything has gone according to plan, you guys should be able to arrive in Grimwater Grove, or at least in the area of Grimwater Grove, sometime by a little after noon tomorrow. So you guys start looking for a place to set up camp. One of you make a survival check with advantage, or you can each try to roll survival.
Not me.
I think, Magram, you're probably the best at it, right?
I can do that. Yeah, so I got a 24.
Okay. Yeah,
Nice.
This time you do manage to find like a full cave. It looks like a rocky outcropping, and as you approach, you realize that it actually goes back further in than it looks like from the outside. You're actually able to move in, and it looks like this would be like a perfect place to get out of the weather, even if you didn't have the magic turtle shell. And with the magic turtle shell, you think that you could cast it and still be completely unnoticeable from people on the outside.
All right, turtle shell's going up.
Okay, turtle shell goes up. You guys are all in this turtle shell, staying nice and warm and cozy. The magus is not actually awake. She's just kind of like stirring and kind of rolling around. Definitely some brain damage done to her from being whacked. But you did spare the dying, which is great. So she's not real brain damage. Okay, sorry. Let's back up. Let's not talk about brain damage. She is starting to come to, but she is not fully awake yet. You imagine it will happen probably relatively soon, but probably before you guys bed down for the night. But right now, you guys have maybe a couple hours to maybe identify some more items, eat some food, make a meal, discuss anything that you guys need to discuss. So, what do you guys want to do?
I want to know what this swag is, this metal swag that I got going on, chainmail.
I can be doing investigation, or I can be doing identify.
Yeah, Sylvie, the chainmail it's a shirt of chainmail, but it's so light you don't have to be proficient to get to wear it. So basically, it's a chain shirt, whatever that AC for a chain shirt is, plus your dexterity modifier, and you're proficient with it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh, there's also 2 spell books if you want to look through the spell books as well. You guys just want to go through and run through and do all the identifications?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what we find is the ring, as you're casting Identify, the ring is actually a ring of protection +1.
Sweet.
The boots are boots of water walking, but you cannot go under the water with them on. So if you try to swim with them on, your feet will not go underwater.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so you literally cannot swim. The boots of water walking do not require attunement. The sword does. The ring of protection does require attunement. The ornate horn does not require attunement. But what it does is when you blow in it, it sends a sending spell to anyone that you want, but all it says is you're in danger and the person knows where you are.
I mean, that's hella helpful. SOS.
It's also like straight up somebody like blowing a trombone as loud as they can directly into your ear.
It kind of. I mean, it does make noise when you blow it. It does not make any noise, but the person on the other end does hear the note and instinctively just knows where you are, like which direction you are and how far you are away.
I may use the ring of protection if that is okay. Is that okay with people?
Do it.
Yeah, I got this shield, so my AC already went up this session.
Okay, and then the cloak, the one magic cloak, is actually it's a cloak of the clear mind, which basically gives you a +2 to your wisdom saves.
Oh, I love that. But it requires attunement, correct?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Okay. Oh, and then going through the spell books. Sylvie, you start looking through the spell books. Between the two different spell books, as you're looking, you see some pretty good spells. You see, are you guys ready?
Do it.
Ready.
Okay. I'm trying to see which ones you don't necessarily have. You do find Rosetta Stone. You do find Detect Magic. There's also Dispel Magic, Identify, Levitate, Locate Object, Tensor's Floating Disk, Unseen Servant, Banishment, Contact Other Plane. That could work for calling Baldric. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, so thank God we can text.
Rename it Booty Call.
Not even booty call, just don't text this guy. No, don't do it, even though you're drunk.
Oh gosh. Legend Lore,
That's a cool one. I want that spell eventually.
Locate Creature.
Honestly, I want locate object for my keys.
As you're looking through these spells, you recognize that this spell book, like the spells in this spell book, this magic user, this magus, probably was not able to use all of these spells. Almost like this was maybe like a family spell book or something that was
with the
gifted
family
to this person.
heirlooms making us feel bad for taking our loot.
These are elves. Like everything is like family and tradition and all that kind of stuff. This is how elves are. Planar Binding, Polymorph, Scrying, and True Seeing and Shield.
Jeez. Nice.
It's a lot.
Between those two. Also, there's Fireball. I mean, but you've already got that one.
You can never have too much fireball. Sylvie just
Fireball.
has she has one wizard spell book just completely dedicated to fireball, and it's just fireball scribed into it over and over and over again.
It's with different components and stuff, so like, in case you're out of something.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if you want to, you can tear a page out of that book and use that spell as a scroll, but then you can't possibly put it into your own book. It'll use it up.
I mean, I really do think locate object would be handy.
I have locate object. I took that last level.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, then I definitely want my phone so I can call my BF.
And scrying, so you can check in on him while he's in the hot tub with Ashenly.
Yeah.
You guys have now finished identifying all of these magical items. You guys have divvied them out a little bit. You guys have spread out the gold. You've had some dinner. You're in this turtle shell, just kind of talking amongst yourselves. This magus is kind of laying off to the side. You see her start to kind of roll, and she kind of opens her eyes. You can see that they're not focused at all. And then after a couple minutes, she kind of blinks a little bit, and she looks over at all of you, and she looks at you, Guy. And she says, you're a traitor. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
I kind of am, but what specifically are you talking about?
You're going to have to be a little more specific.
Did you break her heart?
Yeah.
Because you're an elf, dude. You're an elf. And you are not helping Eldoralus. You're not helping the elven homeland. Anyway. All right. Hey, thank you guys for playing tonight. If you like what we're doing, which of course you do, go leave us a rating and a review. Also, join us on Discord. Tell us what we did wrong, but better yet, tell us what we did right.
I love praise. I need praise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tell us what
Made you feel a little warm today.
Yes. All right. Hey, and don't forget, go check out our shop. And if you want more content, go check out Patreon. You can listen to Your Neighbor's Potatoes, where we talk about our episodes. You get a little bit more insight. It's a great time all around. So until we get together next time, we hope you have a great time.